If you want to radically transform your self-image, if you want to radically improve your self-worth, your self-confidence, you got to be able to answer those two questions from a fundamentally new place. And those two questions are extremely powerful. The first one is this: how do I really think about myself? And the second one is this: how do I really feel about myself? Those two questions pretty much define your relationship with yourself. And so if you take an honest look at this answer right now, you pause, you quiet down, and you really go deep inside and you ask yourself those two questions, and you listen to the answer that comes from your subconscious mind. If that answer is negative, is belittling, is not like grand, and it's not loving, and it's not caring, and it's not like representing the person you want to be and the relationship yourself that you want to have, then you know that subconsciously your relationship with yourself, the idea that you have about yourself, has to change. Maybe it's time to stop thinking that you're wrong, or you're bad, or you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're this or that. Maybe it's time to start thinking greater about yourself. Maybe it's time to start feeling greater about yourself. And above all, maybe it's time to start telling your mind and your body how you want to think and feel about yourself, because people are waiting for someone, something, their achievement, their goal, their desire. When I get this, when I make the money, when I get the YouTube right, when I get all those things, then I'll be worthy, then my parents will validate me, then I get the girl, then I get the guy, then people will love me and respect me, right? So they're vested on their goals and the desire, and when I get those things, then I'll get what I've been chasing so much, the importance, the worthiness. Yeah, but you gotta train yourself to answer those two questions. How do I really in my gut feel about myself? And how do I really in my gut think about myself? And so whatever the script was, however you're answering this question now, if it's not reflecting the version of you that you want to be, you gotta start creating a new answer. And you gotta start living that answer, and you gotta start affirming that answer, and you gotta start embodying that answer, and you gotta start feeling that answer. Because who you are is for you to decide. Your relationship with yourself is for you to decide. Your sense of worthiness is for you to decide and give to yourself. If your strategy to get worthiness and validation and to feel good about yourself is to achieve some goals and be perfect and be nice and be this and that and make no mistake and all this crap, that is on you, nobody else. It's your strategy to be loved and accepted by others, is to be the nice guy or the nice girl. That is on you and nobody else. So it doesn't actually matter how and why you got here. What matters is, what do you do next? Who are you gonna become next? Because life is a process of creation, right? It's time to undo all those beliefs, but you cannot simply undo them, because nothing is created or destroyed. Everything is transmuted. So you gotta transmute those old ideas, those old energy of your self-image, and recreate them, rebirth them into a new version of yourself. And so how do you do that? Well, you gotta know who you want to be. So you need to know how that version of yourself that you wanna be living, creating the life that you want, having the experience that you want in your life, the relationship that you want in your life. How would that version of you answer those two questions? And then it's your job, it's your responsibility to love yourself enough to condition yourself every single day with those two new answers until it becomes really fundamentally the core of your new self-image. So that means that the old thoughts of being harsh and the old guilt and the old anxiety and the old self-pitying and the old inner critic no longer belong. So you gotta be able to tune that down, let go of those attacking thoughts, let go of all that pressure and all that overwhelm that you put on yourself, if that's what you do, yeah? And start showing up, thinking about yourself in new ways, changing your relationship about mistake, about people, about your value, what you bring to the table, and decide perhaps that my self-worth is non-freaking negotiable, and doesn't depend on how much money I make and whether the deal works or if I get the job or if I lose some weight or whatever crap. Yeah. So you gotta decide, but it's up to you to define whether it is negotiable, whether you have to earn it, whether you have to work hard for it, or whether you give it to yourself. What you lack between yourself, you will always chase and project on people, things, experiences, goals, and desire. So if you've been chasing that validation, chasing that approval, chasing that need for worthiness, attention, and love from others, is because your freaking strategy to give it to yourself sucks. And you gotta wake up to that and realize that you are responsible for that strategy and nobody else is gonna change it. So I strongly invite you to pause this video, to write down, even in the comments, take a stand, write down in this comment, what is the two new answers that you're gonna be living by? How do I really think about myself? And how do I really feel about myself? And go live it and affirm it and embody it every single day and see what happens. Let me know what you think down in the comment. Come back in 30 days and let me know the impact of those two questions. As always, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.